Last episode, I shared about parenting patterns that can lead to unhealthy boundaries. Maybe after listening, you started to reflect on and notice some of your own limited beliefs. But if you haven't heard the previous episode, no worries, you can totally start with this one. Especially if you are already aware that you struggle with boundaries. Like if people often take advantage of you, or you always put others first and leave yourself last, then this episode is for you. So once you realize you've got boundary issues, what's next? What can we actually do? As always, just a little disclaimer. While my hypnotherapy work has given me lots of inspiration, I don't have a formal background in psychology or any kind of spiritual powers. So please feel free to look up more resources on your own. What I'll share here are simply my notes and reflections as a hypnotherapist. First, let's take a look at our own belief system. You can close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths first. As your mind settles and your inner space becomes clearer, ask yourself, what does boundary mean to you? Does it feel like hurting others, something that you have to give up for love, or a sign of being selfish? Or do you see it as respect for yourself and for others? As an act of self-love? How do you see yourself? Do I believe I'm worthy of love unconditionally? Do my needs matter? Do I deserve to be protected? Do I find it hard to say no, even when deep down I don't want to say yes? Do I tend to be a people pleaser or overly empathetic? You can also pause the video for a moment and really feel the answers that come up inside you. When our boundaries are weak, our energy can easily be drained by others. We can soak up other people's negative energy like a sponge, easily swayed by their emotions. We might feel drained, dizzy, or emotionally messy in crowded places. We might find ourselves deeply affected by other people's expectations, judgments, or moods. Or in close relationship, we might start treating their needs as our responsibility. If our sense of self-worth is shaky, if we believe we have to serve, give, or please others in order to prove our value, then we'll keep on pleasing and sacrificing. We'll avoid saying no, suppress ourselves, and avoid conflict, all out of fear of being abandoned. But when we have a healthy sense of self-worth, we no longer need to trade away our boundaries to be loved. In the last episode, I talked about how parents modeling unhealthy boundaries can also blur a child's own sense of boundaries. That's why parenting can be such a powerful opportunity for our own healing. To show our kids what healthy boundaries look like, we first need to build a strong sense of self-worth ourselves, being clear about our boundaries and honoring them. As a mom of a little one, I've thought a lot about the relationship between motherly love and boundaries. For example, if I'm working, busy, or eating, and my baby cries for me, should I drop everything to be with her? Or should I let her wait? If I always put everything aside to go to her, am I teaching her that love equals to self-sacrifice, which is an unhealthy boundary? But if I make her wait, will she learn that I'm not important? My needs don't deserve a response? If you have ever had the same confusion, here's the conclusion I've come to. When the baby is still very little, let's say under 18 months, they are still forming secure attachment. At this stage, giving them timely responses actually imprints in their subconscious. I am lovable. My needs matter. I deserve a response. But as they grow, around 2 years old, they start saying no. That's when the very first sense of boundary begins to form. They also start having the capacity to self-soothe a little and can handle brief separations and reunions. That's when we can begin gently modeling boundaries, showing them that love and limits can coexist, that their emotions can be seen and held, that a temporary goodbye doesn't mean disappearing forever. It means we always come back. Coming back to our own boundary issues, because mind, body, and spirit are connected, we can also look at some common physical symptoms that often reflect boundary challenges. Skin health. The skin represents our boundary with outside world. Skin problems can sometimes symbolize external intrusion versus inner resistance. Immune system issues. They can point to difficulty recognizing what belongs to us and what's foreign, or a weakened ability to protect ourselves. Digestive system problems. This often reflects the struggle of not being able to digest or process other people's expectations or pressure. Food and leg issues. These are connected to our direction in life, literally where we want to go. So problems with the feet and legs often symbolize a conflict between my path versus someone else's path. In hypnotherapy, we can even guide clients to have a conversation with their organs, exploring the emotions and messages that may be suppressed and stored within them. From a spiritual perspective, if your soul chooses to be born in a family with weak or blurry boundaries, it may be because in past lives you dealt with issues of over-sacrifice or power struggles. Coming into this life, the lesson is to learn how to rebuild your boundaries in the midst of confusion, to learn to separate what's yours from what belongs to others, to say no while still holding love. In this sense, your family of origin becomes the perfect blurry environment for you to practice clarity. If you look back and notice that your parents show the kinds of boundary issues I mentioned in the last episode, it's important to remember that in most cases, they weren't trying to be hurtful. More often, they were unconsciously repeating patterns passed down from family and society. But once you gain awareness of those patterns as an adult, you have the power to break them. You can become the ideal parents for your own inner child, giving yourself the safety, understanding, permission, and love you may not have received. In doing so, you heal your inner child, and at the soul level, you get to grow up all over again while also modeling healthy boundaries for the next generation. In hypnotherapy, we often guide clients into conversations with their inner child, listening to unmet needs, affirming their feelings. Your feelings matter. I hear you. Allowing them to cry, to show vulnerability, and giving them the respect and presence they need. And then, it doesn't stop there. We continue reparenting ourselves through daily actions, allowing ourselves to rest when we are tired, taking time each day to acknowledge and celebrate ourselves, listening to and honoring our feelings, and holding our emotions without suppressing or exploding. Like a truly loving parent, we become that safe, compassionate caregiver for our inner child. When we do this, we can rebuild a foundation of safety and self-worth, even as fully grown adults. Back to daily life. If you are someone with weak boundaries who often feels invaded, here are 3 simple practices to start with. Practice saying no in low-risk situations. Build up your no muscle by starting small. Pause. When someone asks for help, don't answer right away. You can say, "Let me think about it and get back to you." Daily boundary checking. Reflect on moments today when you feel like you were suppressing yourself. If you could do it over, how might you honor both yourself and the other person better? If you enjoyed this episode but haven't checked out the previous one yet, feel free to see which parenting habits might lead to unhealthy boundaries in kids. Thanks so much for everyone for your comments, channel support, and Patreon subscriptions. You are also welcome to share in comments your own boundary challenges, self-awareness insights, or healing experiences. 如果有需要催眠疗愈来帮助你发现自己的限制性信念，或者帮助你转化限制性信念，欢迎预约我的服务，预约资讯放在说明栏。